Welcome to Easy Money MMA. Let's start off with taking a look at last weekend's result. Again, almost another clean sweep, only 0.5 unit didn't hit. All of the bets I chose were super easy to watch. They were basically cruising the whole fight, barely had any dangerous moments besides Estevan's last round, and Jesus obviously looked like he was running out of gas as well. Quick finish for Edmund Shabazian. Yusef and Gabriel Bonfim just easily outclassed with technical striking on the feet. Also huge underdog hit Nazim Sadikov at plus 195. Feels really good about that. And with the Gregory bet, honestly my first instinct was Jarrett, but considering that he's 41 years old, he just came out of 2 KO losses and also out of a surgery. I thought this might be the time that he might lose motivation to train as hard as he did, having that many miles on his clock and also just aging. But then he looked better than ever. I haven't seen him hunt for a finish like that forever. His last KO was like 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, he looked really good. Almost got finished by Gregory in the first round, but weathered the storm. Good for Cannonier. That was a really fun fight to watch. Okay, and now also take a look at my record in the past month or two. Been absolutely killing it, so please give a like and subscribe to hop on this juicy games. I will be giving out free bets every week, and we'll also release my Discord channel so you guys can get in on the best odds. It's kind of crazy actually. 90% of the time when I place my bets, it's usually always on the best odds at the best entry time possible. So yeah, let's move on to our first bet. Okay, so our first bets is Gene Silva. If you look at his last 2 performances, how could you not believe in his hype right now? Like his last fight against Drew Dober, when he broke both of his hands in the first round, he took it on short notice, 6 weeks right after a fight, and just went up a weight class without even bulking up, fighting undersized against a fully prepared Drew Dober, and he was able to outclass him in that way. I feel like this just raised his stocks in an insane amount. I really don't see him losing unless it's like some title fight or something, to be honest. I feel like this guy is a real deal, and this should be a very, very confident bet. I got him in at minus 370 with 5 units. This is definitely the lock of the week. He's a really, really good parlay piece. You can parlay that with any of your other bets. His performance against Charles Jourdain was very, very good as well. Charles is actually a pretty legit guy. You just see what he did to Victor Henry. But I feel like when he was fighting Charles, he was not in any danger at all, and it was a pretty comfortable and easy KO for him. I feel like that guy's mindset is just different, and guys are just not used to that kind of... He's just way more dangerous than Milsic. Milsic looks really good when he can stay at range and pick him apart with like kicks and punches. But I feel like when Gene Silva doesn't like it, he's going to push the pace. He's going to make it very uncomfortable for Milsic to be able to deal with him. He's just way too dangerous for him. I really don't see him losing. Even though Milsic is really good as well, he's very technical on the feet, I just really don't see him beating Gene Silva. Okay, next one is Javid Basharat. Like Ricky Simon is one of the fighters that I'm just like, it's just on top of my list of trying to fade, because I feel like they're like the most overrated fighter in the entire division. I feel like he just never looks good. He's like a guy who kind of needs to wrestle because he's so undersized and short, but then he can't get any control time going. Anyone who's like decently athletic is able to defend all of his takedowns. He doesn't look very crafty on the feet as well. He's just like a smaller sized dude, always just too hesitant and just controlled at distance. Anyone who seems like they have a decent striking skill is able to just control Ricky Simon. Makes him look like he doesn't know how to strike at all. Like he got completely outclassed by Song Yadong. And also his last fight against Vinicius, he really showed that he was willing to accept losing. Like he was fighting the same fight, just sitting there, not able to throw anything. But then he wasn't able to actually take more risks. He wasn't able to make adjustments. Kind of just accepted that he was going to lose the fight. That was a very bad look. I feel like he lacks the mindset and he's really not improving much in my opinion. So yeah, just like what MMA Guru says, yeah, these American wrestlers are really not taking anyone down these days. Like I feel like Javid has some potential. He looks quite dynamic on the feet. He's like played pretty well with the karate stance with a good variation of kicks. I feel like he's just a much more talented guy than Ricky. He also has a size advantage and plays a range game quite well. I feel like I see the matchup play out very similar to how Ricky Simon's last match played out against Oliveira. I feel like he would just be controlled at distance, just lose on the volume and not able to get anything off. Like I feel like Javid should have won his last fight against Ayman Zahabi, even though it was actually quite close. And he started becoming sloppy at round 3, starting to get in clip more. But at the first round, he looked really good, just dancing around, landing most of the strikes. So even though people are writing him off as a prospect, but I still feel like he could possibly still be some potential, even though we haven't seen him tested in any way. So yeah, on to the next one. My next bet will be Brandon Allen. I feel feel like him at this price is kind of disrespecting to him. Anthony Hernandez has been looking really good, but I feel like he's been exploiting fighters who don't really have a good grappling and wrestling base. Like if you look at his last 5 opponents, which one of them are good grapplers or wrestlers? There's not that many in 185 pounds. So I feel like Brandon Allen is a different kind of matchup. I don't think I've seen Anthony Hernandez fought someone like that in a very high level match. Someone who's bigger than him and also has a really elite wrestling and grappling game. His 7-fight win streak, very impressive, and also be able to wrestle and control Imavov for the first round like that, who also has pretty good wrestling and grappling, is very impressive. I feel like him at this odds, I would definitely find value in him, so my bet will be 0.25 units on Brandon Allen. Okay, thanks for watching. Best of luck, guys. See you guys next week.